Good morning, everyone. April Jackson here from Open Up Pittsburgh with Sunday Safe Spaces, and I'm here solo. It's Father's Day, and Wes is a dad today, so he's going to try and log on, but hopefully he's enjoying his Father's Day morning. Listen, it is a beautiful sunny day out here in Pittsburgh. I hope you are having a sunny day wherever you are. And if you're not, you know what? The rain brings lots of blessings, and we are very thankful, just to be present and be in the moment. And I invite you to be intentional about being present this Sunday, wherever you are, no matter what's going on. No matter how you feel, being present is very important. Our emotions are indicators. They're ways that our own selves communicate with what we need and what we want, and it steers us in a direction to fulfill those needs. So, Father's Day can be a joyous day, it can be a challenging day, and everything in between. So, we hope that you're able just to take some deep breaths in every moment and really enjoy every aspect of today. I wanted to bring up some things. We're going to talk about Father's Day. We're also going to talk about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is tomorrow. And so interesting. So many things I have read recently about Juneteenth. We want to bring up Juneteenth here because we know that our platform really centers Black people. It really centers people of color. We really center ourselves with the knowledge that the general public does not center us all the time. And that really came to light in 2020, right? And prior to then it did, but so much has happened since then. And that's really the reason why we even started this platform, so that our voices can be heard and we can bring this safe container where these voices can be heard at all times. And with that, we hope that it reflects the greater need of society, that we are diverse, we're inclusive, that we all come together for the movement and the movement forward of humanity. And even as Open Up, as we center people with disabilities, we want that to be known that we are all a part of humanity. And even in the disabled space, we can say that we're centering those with disabilities. And sometimes that really has a white centrist view as well. So we're here opening up the doors to really center everyone. And so we're so thankful that even if you're not watching on Father's Day, that this conversation with myself and you will bring to light some beauty and some joy. Juneteenth was a Texas based, it was a very regional based holiday because in Texas, the slaves there found out of their freedom. It was quite delayed. And so when they found that they were free, they were able to celebrate. And so Texas has kept, particularly Galveston, Texas, they kept on the tradition of celebrating it. And I was reflecting earlier on that for myself because I didn't realize there was a Juneteenth until I was in my early 20s, which is interesting. Out of all the history classes I had in high school and in college, because I was a history major in college, I never knew about Juneteenth. And I was able to go to a Juneteenth celebration in an area outside of Los Angeles. I think you guys have heard us talking a lot if you've been following Wes and I. I'm from Los Angeles, and I remember being invited to go to California State, Dominguez Hills, because they had a huge celebration, and it was wonderful and really. I have a t-shirt. I was looking for it today so I could put it on. But one of the things that really sparked joy for me was bringing so many people together in that local regional community of Los Angeles and the suburbs of. And that's an article that I was reading about in the New York Times this week about Juneteenth. Now that it's a federal holiday, are we going to lose some of that regional aspect of it, of the communal aspect of it? And I implore you not to, look into your neighborhoods, look into your communities, and really celebrate with who is around you. It is a federal holiday, but not everybody has the day off. Hopefully we'll get to that point, but it's also really a time to be able to have community and to celebrate with each other. And that's important. And maybe as we continue to move forward in society, history will really reflect back on this time to show how Juneteenth was advocated for, fought for, is integrated into the totality of American life, and we can really celebrate it without losing the intentionality of why it came to be, and also not losing the historical significance of it. Communication is a key thing. And we now have so much social media that we can really reach many, many people in a very short amount of time. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not so good. But you remember, in the 1860s, we didn't have that communication. There was the printing press, so there was newspapers. But remember, African Americans, particularly those who were enslaved, it was illegal to read and write, and there was not much communication being given to our ancestors. So, let's remember that, and I hope that it can bring some light to the importance of equality and equity in education, and the balanced approach to exposure to media. So that's my spiel on Juneteenth. I hope, power to the people, that you celebrate today, no matter who you are, no matter what ethnicity, no matter what race, no matter, your abilities, whatnot. Please go enjoy some Juneteenth celebrations. And I'm going to pivot to Father's Day. I'm having a cup of coffee. I hope you have some coffee or tea or water with you. There was a recent article that in CNN that I'm reading it here. So Black dads are more likely to play, dress, and share a meal with their children, data shows. Why is that like information or newsworthy? It's important because typically data has shown that Black fathers are not present, and that in the 70s, they had a big report about matriarchy in the Black community, and it really was pivotal with some decisions and laws that were being made towards the Black community. And it's important to counteract those negative stereotypes. Even recently, there have been a lot of negative stereotypes about Black men as fathers. And when we talk about media and we talk about social media and media in general, it's real important to, view it with an air of questioning, and to dive into details. And so this recent article was showing that there's some data that shows that it's not quite what it seems in media. And if any of you come from Black families, I think like there's always been a father figure present that's been engaged with children. It's been engaged with families, and that's just really important to hone in and focus on. There's a Black American Dad Foundation, which I will share and put that in our newsletter. That's a great avenue for you to learn information and educate yourselves on. It's important to recognize that as Father's Day lands on the day before Juneteenth, that we want to commemorate all fathers and commemorate Black fathers, and understand like their role in society is huge. And I give it up to all the fathers who are caregivers, the fathers who extend themselves to others, they mentor others, they nurture others, uncles, grandparents, friends. It's real important to, again, surround ourselves with community and really uplift that masculine energy and that masculine presence, because that brings balance to the femininity. So, happy Father's Day to all of you who are fathers, and for all of you who father others. You might even father a puppy. We really want to celebrate the dads today and the work. I have kids who have played sports, and coaches have been father figures to them. And you know what? The coaches have helped their father in fatherhood. So I also want to celebrate the community of men who help one another. It's important to have that support, because sometimes, a mother and a father, sometimes we don't always agree on things, and it's good to have outside community to support. So I hope, that you fathers are enjoying the day, that you're trying to find some rest in all that you do. And I hope you're able to really celebrate and honor yourselves. Again, one thing Wes and I always talk about is self-care, uh, bringing up yourself, nurturing yourself, because you can only pour from a cup that's full. So we really encourage you to take time for yourself, balance it all out, and find ways that you can continue to affirm yourself, uplift yourself, and encourage yourself. So I just wanted to come on briefly, although I'm a solo act, and honor all of us. This episode of Sunday Safe Spaces is our 30th episode. We're amazed that we've gone 30 months pretty consistently. I think maybe 1 or 2 months we had like a pre-recording, but we've been consistent, and that's really been an honor to be on this journey together. Sometimes we've been solo. I mean, probably a handful of times in total. Gus has done it or I've done it alone. But other than that, we've been on this trajectory together, and we're looking forward to 30 more. We reflect back on this particular year. We really took some time to talk with each other about the latest topics and things that we really felt a need to focus on. We've had 2 guests this year. We had Marcus Schaffner and we had Cecilia Ware, and it was wonderful talking with Marcus about accessibility outdoors, adventures outdoors. We still plan to connect with him to find out what we can do with him outdoors. We also were very excited to talk about motherhood, because last month was Mother's Day, and nurturing as a caregiver and nurturing through trauma. Cecilia Ware really dropped some nuggets on us about nurturing, and how through a traumatic experience she had with her son being a survivor of a gunshot wound, her mothering turned into more nurturing and not so punitive. That really landed with Wes and I, and I dropped that nugget today because I'm hoping that fathers, that you can be encouraged to nurture the family. And being punitive really can set us back a little bit, but it's not to say that we aren't accountable and that we don't hold structure. And that's a lot of times what masculine energy brings. And when I say masculine energy, you don't have to be a man to have masculine energy, but the shape of things, the outline. You could say the boundaries are often a masculine approach to things. And that's really important. And you can have that boundary and that shape and that enclosure in a way that's nourishing and nurturing, and can really bring people, uplift them. So I really encourage you all to do that this Father's Day too. As for me, I'll talk about, we always want to end with what we're reading, what we're listening to, and what we're doing. I have been reading a lot of the New York Times lately. I went ahead and signed up for a subscription and read that every month. Last month, Wes was talking about how he's really been kind of honing in and focusing on himself and doing some writing himself. So I want to encourage everyone to write your story, tell your story. You can do it by writing in a journal. You can do it by typing it in. You can do it by using your voice and recording it, or, asking someone else to help do it with you. But use your voice, tell your story, because your story will truly influence someone else in the most positive way, because all of our stories are unique. And it's also through stories that we extend community and we extend humanity. So what better thing to do on a Father's Day than to tell your story of fatherhood, or how you were fathered, and maybe how you weren't fathered, and how you found a fathering presence. As we go into Juneteenth, maybe tell your story, look into your ancestry, look into your local community, and tap into the Black community that is local, and find ways to uplift and support. I I've been enjoying the time of being able to write and journal and be still. And as far as music goes, I've been listening to different music, listening to podcasts, and really just trying to take some time to myself. So I'd love to hear what you've been listening to, what you've been reading, and what you've been doing to nourish yourself, to parent yourself, to uplift yourself. And I hope you're able to tune in with us. We will be on the third Sunday of July, celebrating and talking, and we'll have a guest on that will come and be with us. So, with that, wherever you are in the world, I hope you enjoy this day. I hope you really can spend time being intentional and being present, as I said in the beginning. Thank you for joining in on Sunday Safe Spaces. I very much look forward to seeing you next month. Remember, take deep breaths, be present, honor wherever you are and however you feel. And we look forward to seeing you next month. Bye.